All right. So welcome officially, Susie, to the Zoom room. Glad to have you back. Thanks for the shares. That was, yeah, some always interesting listening to you and experiences you're going through. Just carry on, keep calm, carry on, and allow these experiences to they come and they go. They come and they blow through your mind and they go. And through it all, you're the witness. The witnessing presence of spirit. It's able to just observe it without attachment. So we're going to go into our email for today, the quote, and then we'll have a look at today's lesson, which is a very short review lesson, and do a meditation that will bring us into the session to a close. Okay, so let's just get the live stream going. Internet's a bit slow here, so apologies, it's a bit slower than normal, but we're getting there. Okay, here we go. All right, let me share my screen. Okay. Okay. Let me just start recording as well. All right, so record and screen. All right, so you can read the quote for today, Susie, for us, and then we'll just go into the. I'll go through some of the teaching that'll lead us nicely into the lesson.
According to Vedanta, there are only two symptoms of enlightenment, just two indications that a transformation is taking place within you towards a higher consciousness. The first symptom is that you stop worrying. Things don't bother you anymore. You become light-hearted and full of joy. The second symptom is that you encounter more and more meaningful coincidences in your life, more and more synchronicities, and this accelerates to the point where you actually experience the miraculous.
So Deepak Chopra, based on the teachings of Vedanta, which is one of the 6 schools of Hindu philosophy, derived from the Vedas, which are the most ancient teachings of India. So Veda means knowledge in Sanskrit. So these are philosophies of knowledge. As we know, knowledge in course terms is pointing to this level 1 knowledge is here. It's God, Father, Heaven, Source, the eternal domain of truth. So he highlights the symptoms of enlightenment. Enlightenment is just another word for what Yeshua calls salvation in today's workbook lesson. So the first symptom is a lack of the compulsive worry that characterizes the mental state of so many people. Because worry takes your awareness away from the present moment, and it makes both the past and the future real in your mind. So it attaches you to the timeline the ego has invented, blocks your awareness of eternity, the gateway to which in this world is the now, the present moment, all of which is quite well illustrated in this diagram. So you can see if you root it on the timeline, you think you're a character with a past and a future, then your thoughts are going to go into the past. You're going to bring the past into your present moment. All of that past conditioning represents the downward arrow, the red arrow of the ego's psychological and emotional attachment to the world, to your story. That those thoughts and emotions really pull you down onto the timeline. So you now identify with the character in the dream, an individual person seemingly living out your individual life, trying to find happiness and some kind of peace and satisfaction in life, but burdened by all these, past issues, past traumas. An example of, just some random events that could happen in a life as an example. But I know people in the community have experienced these things. These things happen. And then you carry that with you into your present moment, and you judge the present based on all of that past conditioning, which is bringing the past into the present, and then you will recreate a similar future. So now that conditioning is, that happened in the past, it wasn't very good. What's likely to happen in the future? And you live in fear. Well, maybe, the same or worse things will happen in future. You're now looking ahead, or you're looking behind, but you're never present. So the ego is always trying to keep you away from just being in the present moment, because in the present moment, or the now, you can experience this pure formless awareness of perfect love. It's the only time that you can experience it. If you're in the past or the future, you're time traveling, and time is part of the illusion, so it obscures the eternal now moment. So that's why letting go of the past and letting go of future fears is so essential, because it brings you into the now. If you're not thinking about the past or the future, you're purely present now, then that's all that's happening for you, just a pure awareness right now. That becomes the portal to eternity. So that then is the gateway. You go on the blue arrow, which is the Holy Spirit's reinterpretation of the world, and you whoop up above the level of the battleground of time and space into this timeless, eternal domain that we can call any of those names. You might rest there for a while, and then it's a double-sided arrow, because it comes the other way. Once you've gone there, you now come back and you can perceive the situation, but with fresh eyes. You've now got a different perspective because of where you've been. And that kind of reinterpretation is what the Holy Spirit's always helping us to do. So and the more we do that, the more the blue arrow strengthens, until eventually the arrow becomes so wide, it's as wide as as the whole blue circle, and we just sort of merge back in, and we realize there's really no separation between us and the source. So it's about widening the channel. So it's a massive, open broadband channel. We'll think of a river like an Amazon, or huge, like wide, a mile wide. That's as big as the ocean into which it's going ultimately. And then you merge in the ocean. The river becomes the ocean, and there's no separation between them. You're just one. It all merges into one. So that's just a illustration of the timeline, how it works, and why being in the now is so important. It frees you from the timeline, frees you from the cycle of birth and death. So when we go through this, if we haven't awakened, we've never really accessed this presence, this source in our lives, then why would we expect that we would access it when we die? You might feel a bit more peaceful, but the idea of separation is still very much in your mind, and so then that causes you to bypass heaven. You can't stay there, pure formless awareness, because your mind is too busy and active, and you've got the ego psychological and emotional attachment still going on, which is known as karma in the East, and that those accumulated ego thoughts are karma that bring you back into another lifetime, another birth. And then you have to go experience another timeline. All your karma plays out. The ego psychological and emotional attachments create various dramas, and then you either are going to attach to them and identify more with the character on the timeline, or you're going to reinterpret them with the Holy Spirit and let them go. Those are the choices in every life. Those are the only two choices you have. So understanding all that, worry is then clearly just another part of the death wish. That is the ego, because worrying continuously keeps your mind bound to time, which always leads to death in the end. So worry puts you in the future. You're now very much identified with the timeline, and the timeline goes one way. It goes from birth to death. So it all ends up in death. By contrast, the Holy Spirit, or remembrance of perfect love, helps you to let go of your worries, allowing your natural state of joy to arise spontaneously in your mind and guide your thoughts, words, and actions. So it helps us to let go of these psychological and emotional attachments, and helps us to experience these higher states in the present, which then helps us to change our perception of the situation. So joy is an emotion that powerfully and positively affects the quantum field in which we all seem to live as human beings. So therefore, joy consistently experienced leads to the second symptom of enlightenment. First one was lack of worry, which you just covered. Second one is being the regular occurrence of miracles, what we translate as corrections in alternative non-Christian language, what Carl Jung called synchronicities. That's a term coined by him, which Deepak used in the quote, which are beneficent events, strange coincidences, can take the form of random meetings with people, anything, signposts, billboards, text messages, emails, just a random meeting with someone who gives you exactly the message you needed to hear. This is how synchronicity works. So these are not random events, but a result of the remembrance of perfect love's guidance that we can choose to listen to or not. So to try this quick mind training exercise, just to give yourself an experience of what it feels like to listen to intuition, and what it feels like not to listen. So just close your eyes, sitting comfortably, cup your hands in your lap, take a nice deep breath in through your nose, your stomach filling up, the chest filling up. Draw the energy up to your heart center. Clench your sphincter muscle to help you do that. Put it up into the heart center. Put one hand in your heart to connect with your heart space. Draw it up into the crown of your head. So it's a big inhale breath. Now, don't let the dog disturb you. Just let's focus on what's going on inside of you. So bring to mind a situation in which you felt an inner nudge or a persistent urge to do something, and you denied it. Maybe they preferred to listen to the voice of so-called reason. It wasn't practical financially, didn't have the time, whatever the reason was, whatever the excuse was that you gave yourself. But in truth, you were denying it. So just allow yourself to re-experience that situation. So think the thoughts you were thinking, feel the feelings, feel the emotions you felt fully for a few moments. And breathe in just to top yourself up. The breath creates some spacious awareness, some light. So ask yourself now, what happened in the situation? And maybe you might want to breathe out. What happened once you exhale? I guess this didn't turn out so well for you. Just notice those consequences. Maybe there was difficulty, emotional, mental difficulty, maybe difficulty in relationships, financial difficulty, perhaps even severe suffering as a result of not listening to your intuition. So just re-experience those difficulties for a while. Just feel into them. And when you're ready, just move on. So take another nice deep breath in. And breathe in through the nose. Notice how the stomach rises, the chest rises, the subtle flow of air in through the nostrils. Draw the energy up into the crown of your head, pausing at the top of the inhale. Smile. And just think back to an event in your life, a situation where you felt an inner nudge, some calling to do something, maybe even a persistent call. May not have made rational sense at the time, but you listened to it. What happened when you listened to that nudge or call? Just breathe in to top yourself up, breathing in this light, spacious awareness. Allow yourself to re-experience the situation. So think the thoughts, feel the feelings. You can visualize where you were, what you were doing, who you were with, what you looked like, what others look like, what you're wearing. Any of that detail that comes to mind can help, but mainly, feel the thoughts and the feelings. Just re-experience what you're thinking. Connect to that feeling. Breathe it in again. So dwell on it. Notice how that feels. In contrast with the previous exercise. So how does that differ from the feeling you had when you didn't listen to your intuition? So now you felt it fully, deeply. Exhale and just release. Let go of that state of any thoughts and emotions. It's just to reset into the empty, spacious awareness. That you are. Blow it all out. Let it all go. And rest in peace for a few moments. So consider, which feeling you preferred, which was preferable, which worked for you, which one didn't. That should allow you to really have a reference experience, an anchor into the highest state of truth, of connecting with your intuition, what that feels like, what it feels like. And everything is guided. Future, you know the feeling. You can discern the difference between that feeling and the feeling of being disconnected from your intuition. So just acknowledge the feeling, whatever you're feeling, breathe it in one more time. Just sit in it. For a few moments, connect with it. Acknowledge it so that you can tap into this feeling again and again. The feeling's not going anywhere. If you need to make a decision in the future, you can tap into this feeling. And when you're ready, you can just gently open your eyes. Look around for 30 seconds. Notice how you're feeling compared with 7 minutes ago when we started. And anything you want to share, feel free to do that now. How was that experience?
I think like we've done it before, it's just it's clear that there's tension or something in the shoulders when it's not right, when you're not following it, and yet your heart and your gut just feels so much. So it was more of a feeling. Nothing really came. Incidents never came or anything. I guess it was for me.
You had a feeling of a difference between them.
Yeah. It was the body that was letting me know in some way. Can't even say the body. It was just a knowing. A knowing of what is true and what is not. And when
Yeah, well, that's what the exercise is designed to do, so that you
Mm.
get awareness of what it feels like. What does it feel like if it's true, and what does it feel like if it's false? And you know the difference. Now you've got a guide to make accurate decisions, which is very helpful. So that's why we do these mind training exercises, which leads us nicely into today's primary one, which is our workbook lesson again. So we're on to workbook lesson 115, which is a review lesson. So there's 2 past original lessons to review. So let's just we'll do it from the email because I put it in here. So if you read let's read it in the original, and then just and then translate. So salvation is my only. Salvation is my only function here. That's the original, and translation is awakening. It's my only function here. So there's only one function we have. Was worth reminding us when we start going away from that. We're believing in various other functions. Worldly functions. We all have roles. We have responsibilities. You're a partner. You're a mother. You've written a book. You're an author. You've got some business ideas. These are all roles, but your only real function is awakening. And then those roles just give you the life experiences that are useful, kind of raw material for that awakening. That's the point. But you don't identify with those as important, real, significant, and therefore as part of your identity. So we start to free ourselves through these lessons from that identification. Okay, and then the second one, you want to read that one? My part is essential.
Salvation, awakening is my only function here. My part is essential to God's perfect love's plan for salvation, awakening.
Yeah, so my part is essential to God's plan for salvation. That's the original, and then alternative would be my part is essential to perfect love's plan for awakening. So just a couple of very short ideas. If you read the first one in the original, and then in the alternative.
Salvation is my only function here. My function here is to forgive the world for all the errors I have made. For this am I released from them with all the world. Alternatively, awakening is my only function here. My function here is to let go of all the errors I have made that I perceive in the world, so I am released from them with everyone.
Yeah. So any thoughts on that?
They're always apt, aren't they? They always are what you need.
I particularly like the reviews because they're so short. It's in the form of the sutras of ancient India. They wrote some of the scriptures, Vedic scriptures, as sutras. So it was a very short, brief idea, just to give you like a shot of source. Too many words can obscure it. So I mean, he uses a lot of words in the course, but he's also got this very brief, in the reviews and in the lessons themselves. It's a very brief, short idea because he knows it's a complicated sentence. You're not going to be able to remember it. So it's a very short sentence expressing one key idea. Awakening is my only function here. So all I'm here to do is to let go of all the errors I've made that I perceive as outside me in the world. These are just reflections of my own errors in belief. So I am released from them with everyone. So that's all I'm here to do. Awaken, and the means of awakening is letting go of all the errors I've made, which I perceive outside of me, but they're not really. They're actually errors of thought in my own mind. So I'm released from them with everyone. Oh, so any thoughts on that one?
No. No, because it's kind of clear that the truth is just here, right now. But it's kind of good to know that that's all you're here to do. Instead of giving yourself a to-do list of XXX.
Well, it's very liberating. And so your roles and responsibilities, those are secondary. Those give you the opportunities to practice awakening. That's their value. But don't identify with them primarily, because that's a mistake. Because then you forget that awakening is your only function. You become identified with the form, your role, and that's a mistake. So you're not a partner, mother, author primarily. Those are temporary, secondary roles. You are an awakening being, and you can learn your lessons by playing those roles with the guidance of the Holy Spirit. See the difference in emphasis there. Most people identify themselves with the role, and therefore with the character that's playing the role, and so they've lost themselves in the dream. They believe they're the character playing these various roles in the dream, which are all very temporary and transient. They look for satisfaction in those roles, but it's not there, because it's all false. You're never going to find permanent satisfaction in what is temporary, by definition. So awakening to the truth that is permanent is your only function here.
It's nice not to have a to-do list.
No.
To be.
And people get out, they can get fearful and go, well, how will I function? I've got stuff to do. But the Holy Spirit will guide you moment by moment as to what you need to do. That's how it works. So you don't have to have a to-do list, just like do that now. Go there now, and it then unfolds in a flowing way. And you're rooted in the present moment. You're not worrying about the future. You're not resentful about the past. You're present, and you're getting guidance in the present moment. And then you're living in this awakened state in the now. You're living your function there. And that feels, very joyful and connected, as opposed to the ego's, dysfunctional thought system and the feelings that go with it. Which do you prefer? Sorry, I interrupted you. Do you want to say anything?
No.
Okay. So happy with number one. It's my only function. It's worth reminding yourself, because it's very easy to slip into identification with roles and give yourself other functions. So it's my only function here is to awaken, and as part of my awakening, my function is to be truly helpful to myself and others. That's what I'm here to do. You remind yourself of that every morning, then you keep yourself on track, and you stop the ego from coming in and giving you all kinds of false functions and purposes, which it loves. It wants you to attach to anything else other than the truth, other than awakening. Any worldly activity, role, goal, desired outcome, feared outcome, all of that attachment just obscures your only function, which is awakening. Okay, so we'll move on to second one. My part is essential to God's plan for salvation. Do you want to read that? The original, then the
My part is essential to God's plan for salvation. I am essential to the plan of God for the salvation of the world. He gave me his plan that I might save the world. Alternatively, my part is essential to perfect love's plan for awakening. I am essential to the plan of perfect love for the awakening of the world. The perfect love gave me its plan to help me free the world.
Oh, so what's he saying there? Very, very simple message, which relates to the previous one. I've got one function, my only function, and it's essential that I fulfill that function because it's part of the whole plan. If you don't awaken, then the whole sonship doesn't awaken. Right? So one person who remains separated stops the at-one-ment from happening. So you need to play your part because your mind is part of the at-one-ment. And you can be someone who really inspires and promotes and spreads that message, or you can be someone who blocks it, retards it. Your choice. And these ideas, remind you of what the truth is. Your part is essential. You're important in the plan. You matter. You're significant. Your mind matters as part of the whole mind. And this will help me save the world instead of save the world, free the world. So it's about liberating the mind. Save the world is to free the mind from the world. That's what he means by save the world. So you can misinterpret that. So what he's asking us to save the physical world, this earth, and preserve it for generations to come. No, that's not what he's saying. He's saying, well, help me free everyone in the world by showing them the freedom that lies within me. Okay, happy with that one?
Yes, taking it all in. Thank you.
Okay. So on the hour, he recommends doing salvation is my only function here, awakening is my only function here. On the half hour, do the other one. My part is essential to God's or perfect love's plan for salvation or awakening. So if you manage to do that, give it a try. If not so far, then try for the rest of the afternoon, evening, and just see what happens. So he's asking you to just check in every half hour for, could only be 30 seconds. If you've got some time, I've given you 2-minute breath breaks, so you can listen to the breath breaks for 2 minutes and just check in and keep yourself, in the frequency of these ideas the whole day that way. And then see how your experience changes. And if you can do it once in one day, then you can do it again and again every day. Give that a go. Have you managed any of that, Susie, or not really?
Yes, yeah, that's what brought me to the seeing you. That's what brought me to
doing a breath break.
Yeah, this morning. It led me to do the writing. Yeah.
Good. Oh, so just carry on after the course, carry on practicing every half hour. It's just 2 simple ideas. If you don't have time for the 2 minutes, just awakening is my only function here. Breath. You breathe in, you hold the breath, you dwell on that thought, you feel into it for a few moments. Awakening is my only function here. Okay. And you exhale on that truth, you let it go, and that could be 10 seconds, 20 seconds, short as that. Or you can spend a bit longer if you have the time to listen to the 2-minute recording I've sent you. Okay, so that's the lesson, very short review lesson. So any comments, questions, thoughts on that? Otherwise, we'll go into meditation.
No, like I said, it's apt today.
Yeah, they usually are, aren't they?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
so let's go into the med then. Just another one. Oh, there's John. It's good timing. Just join us for the meditation. Hey, John. How are you?
Hi, Jono. Hi, Susie.
Hi, John.
Well, yeah, welcome back. Your timing's good. We're just about to start a meditation, so
Okay.
good. I've got to go. I've got a bus to catch at about 1:30. So I've got only 20 minutes for the meditation, and then we'll have to.
I have 10 minutes really.
Hmm. Yeah, I'll try and do it in 15, shall we say? Okay, so just make yourself comfortable. Sitting feet shoulder width apart, back straight, cup your hands in your lap or let them palms face upward on your thighs. Close your eyes. Start off with a nice deep breath in through the nose. So breathing in, noticing how the stomach rises and the chest rises. Engaging the sphincter muscle, blocking the energy in, throwing the energy up the spine to your heart center. You can put one hand on your heart, connect with your heart space. Just feel into that place, sacred place in your mind. Breathing into it, inviting the presence of perfect love to come in. So draw the energy up, clench the sphincter muscle all the way up into the crown of your head. Pause at the top of the inhale. Another sip of air and just scan your mind now and notice any thoughts going on for you, any emotions, related body sensations, particularly anything that feels at all negative, limiting, contracted, constricting in any way, shape, or form. Just breathe into that. Nice deep inhale and breath. And just observe those thoughts, those emotions, those body sensations, any related discomfort in the body. Feel into it. Remind yourself that salvation or awakening is my only function here. So my function here is to let go of all the errors I've made that I perceive in the world. So if you're seeing an error in the world, it's really your own error just projected out. So I'm released from them with everyone. So just claim that release now for yourself. Choose to let the thoughts and emotions go. To help you with that, you can exhale. Full deep exhale out the mouth, blowing it away. The breeze of your breath. Going, gone. Pull the nose, stomach into the spine. Expel the last remaining air out. And then just rest in this deep peace and stillness. For a few moments. Gap between breaths. There's also a gap in mind. You can enter in that gap into the eternal now. And just breathing in again. A nice deep inhale breath. Feel the energy drawing up the spine, clench the sphincter muscle, lock the energy in. Draw it up into your heart center. Up into the crown of your head. and scan your mind. Any residual thoughts, emotions, anything that's not pleasant, notice it. Notice how it feels in your body, if there's a corresponding feeling, any tension, tightness maybe in your neck and shoulders, not in your stomach, etc. Breathe into it. The breath just invites this spacious awareness in. So just breathing in the spacious awareness. And we're just in a meditation, so join us. Nice deep inhale. And remind yourself that my part is essential to God's plan, or perfect love's plan for salvation or awakening. And my part is essential to this plan for awakening, for my awakening, for everyone's awakening. Say to yourself, I am essential to the plan of perfect love, the awakening of the world. Repeat those words after me as you exhale. I'm essential to the plan of perfect love for the awakening of the world. Breathing in again. The awakening of the world. The perfect love gave me its plan to help me free the world. Breathe in on that. Feel the power of these words. This plan is happening all the time. It's whether you surrender to it or not. Exhale. And just surrender into an acceptance of this. You are essential. So you're important and significant in this plan. Without you, the enlightenment doesn't happen. Awakening doesn't happen. The mind of the sonship, the extension, is to awaken as one. Every single part of that mind has to awaken. So that includes your mind. You are an essential part of the awakening. You hold up the awakening, you resist it, then the entire awakening, whole universal program of enlightenment is there in the moment. So just rest in that sacred moment, in the sacred now state. Sinking inwards, deeper and deeper. Into the sacred now is where you connect your source, not sometime in the past or the future, but right now, experience it. Your connection is essential to perfect love's plan for awakening. So allow yourself to experience it now. Nothing else to do, nowhere else to go, nothing else to think about. Just surrender into this deep, calm, peaceful stillness in your mind for a couple of minutes of deep silence. Nothing else to go, nothing else to do. Just rest in the deep peace and the stillness for the next couple of minutes of deep silence. Any thoughts come up, seemingly disturb this, just remind yourself today's first review idea: awakening is my only function here. Breathe in on that. So my function here is to let go of all the errors I've made. Just repeat that out loud as you exhale. Have a sense of letting go. As you do that, function is to let go of all the errors I've made that I perceive in the world. Breathe in again. Say, for so I am released from them with everyone. And allow those words just to sit with you. Just sinking inwards, breathing in and out through your nose. Watch the breath and allow the spirit to awaken you in this moment, to experientially know that awakening is your only function right here and right now. Experience that for the next 2 minutes or so of deep silence. Okay, so just gently coming back from this deep state, awareness into an awareness of the body, breath, senses in the world. And on the count of 3, you're going to open your eyes. So 1, just breathing in, noticing how the stomach rises and the chest rises. That'll flow there into the nostrils. Pausing at the top of the inhale, smile. Connect with your breath. Scan your mind, any thoughts, emotions, body sensations floating around there, just observe them and let them go. Find yourself that awakening is my only function here. Only function is to let go of all the errors I've made up that I perceive in the world. How they should look outside of you. It's your own belief that's the problem. So I'm released from them with everyone. Exhale and just let all of that go. One more time. Blow it all out with the breeze of your breath. It's going, gone. And nothingness that really is. Stomach into the spine. Expel the last remaining air out. And just rest in deep peace and stillness for a few moments. Count of 2, notice the weight of your body, pressing down into the chair, your feet touching the ground, noticing what you're feeling, your hands touching, maybe there's a subtle taste in your mouth. Notice that, and smell in your nose as you breathe in. Notice that, notice what you're hearing, without any judgment, no attachment, no interpretation to what your senses are perceiving. So you're still rooted in the same deep awareness, quiet awareness, even though you're coming back into sense perceptions. The idea is to stay rooted in that deeper awareness, which is the truth. And the illusion is what you perceive as separate with your physical senses. So don't interpret it as separate. Just stay rooted in the awareness. That's the whole art of letting go. That's the key to enlightenment. So now on the count of 3, open your eyes. Just look around. Take a minute just to observe various objects in the room around you without attachment. So no judgment, no interpretation. Let your eyes rest randomly on any object for a second or 2. Then another one, or a few seconds, and another one. And notice that it's the same awareness. It's absolutely identical. It doesn't matter what you're looking at. It's all exactly the same experience. So you're rooted in the awareness that is beyond sense perceptions, even while you're perceiving. And that's an excellent spiritual practice in mind training. So to maintain this, just practice today's lesson frequently. Yeshua recommends twice an hour. On the hour, practice the first idea, awakening is my only function here. And on the half hour, my part is essential to perfect love's plan for awakening. Either just follow the instructions I've given you in your Telegram or email message, or you can listen to a 2-minute breath break that I've given you for each one of those to just keep you topped up, keep you connected and in the flow, which is what I wish for you for the rest of the day. And that brings us to the end of the meditation and the session. Sadly, I would like to carry on because we have see what's happening there. So John and Elaine, I have a bus to catch in just over an hour in a town about half an hour away. So I'm going to have to,
Fine, Jono.
Yeah, no
leave
problem.
So glad you could get the meditation and listen to the recording. I've posted it on Telegram, it's on YouTube, and see you tomorrow. Tomorrow afternoon we'll do a session at the normal time, 12:30 UK time.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't read your message. I've just realized 10 o'clock's done. So sorry, I
Yeah.
didn't read your message.
That's okay. Yeah, it's unusual, but just because I've got a bus to catch, and it's the only one I could get. So Well, I could have done it
Awesome.
later, but then I arrive very late at night, which
Yeah.
isn't great. So
That's worry. That's fine, John.
yeah. Okay. So I'll see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
I can't make it tomorrow afternoon, but
Hmm.
yeah,
Okay. And then Friday, probably do a late afternoon, 5 o'clock session. I'll be back in the UK, so
okay.
yeah, we'll do a late session that gives me a chance to settle into my place and then get the dogs walked and fed, and then I'll be able to do the session from 5 on Friday.
Good journey.
Okay. You good? Thank you.
Thanks, John. Yeah. Bon
I might
voyage.
see you tomorrow.
Safe trip.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Cheers,
You-
cheers, Elaine.
Bye, John.
Okay.
Bye. Oops.
Oh, so hopefully see you tomorrow, Elaine. Join us at lunchtime.
Yeah.
12:30.
See. Yeah. Namaste.
All right.
Okay.